Hi, it is Kyrie Sean, aka 24K Solid Gold, sitting here with Wyld Lfe Studios, content creator, founder, and creator. How you doing today? Introduce yourself to everybody.
Alright, doing world Dallas for you. How y'all doing? So my name is Andrew Phinisee. I started Wyld Lfe Studios kind of back in 2016. If you believe it or not. Kind of right around the time where I was just finishing my degree, my associate's degree for computer graphics.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So can you tell us what is Wyld Lfe Studios about and what products do you offer?
Honestly, like what it's about putting a light into the world, in my own little form or shape way possible. That way, with me, it's through graphics, through artistic expression.
Okay.
For the most part. So, a lot of the easiest things to kind of pick up within the everyday life sometimes was like fashion, merchandise. So lately, a lot of the time, I've geared my services kind of toward that vein.
Okay.
And do like custom merch for people and stuff like that too.
Also, you set up websites and stuff as well?
That's right.
Okay.
So all types of graphic services. Like don't get me wrong, graphic services can span off into printing like fashion and stuff. But I do web graphics. You need logos, banners, all those type of things.
And also clothing. You have Wyld Lfe clothing as well.
Yeah, it's one of my pieces. I'm proud of this one because just this year we did a 420 capsule. Actually, it was kind of like a not safe for work situation.
Okay.
So with this, it's the regular. We call this the nub tee or the keep growing tee. Depending on how you look at these, it's got some stuff on the back.
Yeah, so keep growing.
So it's keep growing.
Keep growing.
So I like to be playful with what I do, but at the same time, it's motivational. You know what I mean? It's things that we're supposed to hold on to in life. Yeah.
I like your answer.
Yeah.
Okay, Andrew, I gotta ask you, how did you turn Wyld Lfe Studios from something that you was just thinking about a thought into action, into something that's tangible now?
Honestly, the process and just the idea getting to where I wanted to do took a long time. Like I mentioned back in 2016 when I was getting my associate's degree and everything, I kind of spawned the idea maybe I should do something because one of my professors, shout out to Autumn Kinsey and Bill Crawford. So if y'all are here at Cedar Valley College up in Lancaster. They plugged me onto the programs that they had. That was like a tutoring, like a mentorship type of program. Once you get your degree or once what you're studying, whatever your niche, whatever you're doing, you could be a tutor kind of in that direction.
So they were kind of like your inspiration.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, who were they again? Shout them out.
Shameless plug. Shout out to Autumn Kinsey. William Crawford. That's his name. Bill Crawford. You know who you are, man. Yeah.
That's what's up, because their inspiration was one of the things that kept you going along to take you from a thought into action and something tangible.
That's right.
All right, great answer. The next question I have is, how do you push past roadblocks and adversities to get to where you are now?
Honestly, sometimes that's a good question. It's like it's an ongoing, constant thing. Honestly, what I realized, but to do so, I remind myself that everything is temporary. So it's like, what do you do in this moment? Do you want this moment to be like a moment of regret? Is something that you regret later? Regret doing something just because you feel like something was hard or something was, a lot of the things that's worth doing in lifetime in your life is not going to be an easy thing to do. It's going to come with some sort of stumbling block, person that just may not get, understand what you're trying to communicate, so they block that. There's many different, forms of adversity somebody could go through, and it's always helpful to just kind of remind yourself that anything worth really having is going to come with some sort of struggle.
That part.
God rest the dead, Nipsey Hussle. I remember just a quote he used in one of his interviews. I think with Power 105 or something. But he just mentioned that when you feel like you're leveling up, or when in the process of leveling up, when you feel like new things are happening to you and it becomes a burden or it's hard, that's what it's supposed to feel like. You're stepping into new territory, so it's not supposed to be easy for you.
Yeah. when you know what works, you know what doesn't work. Once you know what doesn't work,
Yeah.
you can get closer to what works for you as well. So, you know, those are the things you do to push past blocks and adversities. That's what's up. How did you come up with the name of your company?
How did I come up with the name of it? Okay, so that was kind of a trial and error thing too. Long story short, my last name is Phinisee, right? I'm Andrew Phinisee. But growing up, one of my favorite animals was sharks, right? The shark weed, you know, it's like all the stuff you see on the, you know, Discovery Channel stuff, you see shark weed. It used to be the bomb to me. And low-key, with wildlife, I try to just stay a kid, low-key. I like to just keep that energy.
That inner child.
So when I first was trying to do it, it was going to be shark fin artistry, right? Like just shark fin
artistry.
Like
that was kind of dope too.
I mean, it was the wave at the time, but I kind of didn't think it encompassed, it didn't encompass everything. Like it seemed like it was too niche. Like it just saying like, you know, there's so many different types of
nature and wildlife. So just wildlife covers it all.
In the world, you know what I mean? So it fit. It perfectly fit. You know.
I'm gonna say, give me an example of once your business was made. Did it give you confirmation that you knew you was moving in your purpose? You know, when did you have that moment where you like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing?
When it felt like what I was doing, what I was supposed to
do. When you felt like, I'm so glad I'm here. I'm so glad I set this up with myself. And in this moment, I feel like I'm moving in my purpose. When did you have that moment?
I would say, so jumping back to the time that I spent like with Cedar Valley College, we actually did Carter High School's collegiate program.
Okay.
So those students that we were dealing with were trying to get their college credits as well.
Can you repeat that again? College what?
The college credits. Yeah.
No, you said college collegiate?
Yeah, the collegiate.
Okay, I'm sorry. You educate me because I don't know what that is.
Yeah. So they got collegiate courses here. I think, you know, David W. Carter, that's one of the high schools that has like collegiate, and it's basically like programs where you can get credits that go into your college degree.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Earlier in your time.
Okay.
They've had versions of those throughout like the last couple of years and stuff. I even remember back in the day when I was doing it, I tried to go through, you know, kind of that. So,
that was one of the things when you was working with that, it made you feel like I'm moving in my purpose.
Right.
I'm doing what I feel like I'm purpose.
And the responses I would get from these kids later on, because like afterwards, like
expand on that. What type of responses would you get?
Okay, I'm jumping around sometime, but between 2019, I used to, a little bit before 2019, like 2018, 2019, I worked at the Dallas Museum of Art as like a gallery attendant. You know, those people that tell people, don't, 6 feet, don't touch art, don't flash, don't touch. That used to be me.
Okay.
I used to get on people's nerves. Like,
so you was at Dallas Arts, Dallas Arts.
Museum of Art.
Okay, Museum of Arts. Okay.
And so we got to take the collegiate kids there before too. Like, so we got them interested, seeing them interested in culture, different forms of culture, different forms of art at such at an early age, because these were like sophomores and freshmen. You know what I mean?
Of high school.
We're dealing with sophomore, high school kids. They're just kind of jumping into it. So it was satisfying seeing that we added, you know, that we're adding something, new experiences, new information into their life that they could kind of use later on to do something. And that kind of put the battery in my back to, you know, do what I do. Because in my mind, when I do a graphic service for somebody, it's like teaching them at the same time, hey, I did this way, and I can do this either for you, and then here's what I would charge for it, or if you want to go, like, honestly, I would want to expand and do like courses and stuff, because I'm certified, like, Schedule 2 tutor.
Is that something that you're going to be pushing for in the future?
Possibly.
Nice.
It's definitely on the table.
It's one of them things where you can fish for them or teach them how to fish. You want to teach them how to fish. Nice. The next question I have for you is, what would you tell future business entrepreneurs about being in this lane? You know, food for thought. If you were going to give them some type of advice, what would you tell them?
There's a couple different things, but if I was to just kind of center on one specific thing, I think it would just kind of be always watch like your environment. Because your environment, like, it's like nurture or nature sometimes. Like, the nature of something can just be what you want to do is weird or irregular, so they're not going to give any constructive criticism into what you want to do, right? And your idea, your dream would just end up just there, like it never go anywhere else. There's no momentum to it, blah, blah, blah. But if, I almost lost my train of thought right there.
That's cool.
But if you, I did actually lose my train of thought.
Hey, I'll get you right back focused, baby. What would you tell future business entrepreneurs about being in this lane? Things that they should, I remember when I was talking to you the other night, you said something and I want to expand on that. And you were talking about the focus, and keeping your focus about your energy, spending your energy, making sure you're doing something towards your business.
Right.
And focusing your energy on LLCs. Remember you were telling me about that? Getting things clear with the city, your trademark, all of your stuff like that.
That's
I remember.
An important situation because we don't have your legal paperwork.
Your business in order.
We understood what happened with people who took their PPP and didn't have the paperwork and the receipts to show that they paid workers and they sold product. They didn't have all this stuff. That money could have went to a lot of different businesses out here. They actually got their paperwork and stuff together. And, we don't know how come as much, because they struggling for funding.
Got you. I also remember us talking about how some people think we make it look easy.
Right.
They think it's so easy to just, you see them little 20, 30-second reels on Instagram and you don't really realize the blood, sweat, and tears that go into putting things together and, making sure that everybody is coming together in unification.
Right.
Because sometimes it's hard in business when you don't have unification with your team coming together and people that you work with to, make your vision pop. Mm-hmm. That's really important too.
Yeah.
It
makes it difficult.
It makes it difficult when everybody's not on one accord.
Right.
So having that unification and everybody being on one accord, that's really important too. A lot of times I think we deal with so much while things don't work. What I want to deal with today is how do you deal with success when things are going correctly, when you're starting to, gain traction and power up. How do you when I say how do you deal with success, mentally, how do you, stay grounded, stay humble, stay thankful, full of gratitude? What are some of the things that you do to, celebrate success when it comes along and stay grounded? So,
and success,
you don't get caught up in ego.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Success can come in a lot of different shapes and sizes, honestly. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes when you first starting things out, maybe your success is actually having an email list of people that you got some people's information and your feedback. Maybe you just started your website and everything, you just launched your site or something, right?
Yeah, you got a lot of successes along the way. I'm glad you said that.
And if you just launched your website and let's say this is the very first day, this is your launch day, you did it already, and you actually have a clientele of people that took the time out of their day schedule, whatever, you grabbed their attention, however you got it, and they felt so compelled as to just leave phone numbers, emails, precious little pieces of information.
Yeah, that's gonna be critical to maintain.
In fact, they trick you with it.
Not just have a piece of it for that minute and that moment to maintain it.
That's right.
Okay.
And that's a success in itself. And it's don't put an expectation on your successes. You know what I mean?
Don't go into
it thinking you out the gate.
I should be a millionaire now.
You're gonna set yourself up not just for failure, but you're gonna set yourself up to
be disappointed,
and it's gonna discourage you. Discourage you to do it.
You'll stop
doing it
because you're not getting the success you think you should. Yeah. All right. I'm glad you said that. That's food for thought in itself right there. Another question I have is how do you maintain the work and family balance? Because I know a lot of times when you have your own business and many people can relate, there are times where you're trying to get certain things done and you might have to totally focus on that and you might have to tell family, I know I'm going to spend time with you right now, but if I have the time to get this finished, I'm going to come back and take care of you. How do you maintain the work and family balance?
It's definitely a new thing for me to have to balance. Since I got a 1 year, well, not 1 year, excuse me, a 1 month old. And
congratulations!
Thank you. Oh yeah. If August will is the season, you're going
happy belated Father's Day and all that. Not just to you, but to all the fathers out there. Happy belated Father's Day.
That's right.
So that working family balance. How do you balance that?
Well, I'm new to it, so it's like I understand that. Okay, I really have to like block out, skip pieces of my day, like hourly almost, to dedicate. Okay, between the hours of 11 to maybe 4, 11 to 5, I'm doing something that's catered toward wildlife. That time after, maybe if I'm off that day or whatever have you, I go to make sure August, I check up on my son, make sure he's doing okay and everything, check whatever he needs, what's going on with him, handle that, and with my fiance as well, all of that. But I won't say I have that totally figured out just yet. But it's I take it one day at a time, to be honest. It's take it careful. It doesn't start out an easy thing to balance.
It doesn't seem like it does.
Not for me right now.
But I like your answer. He said, y'all take it one day at a time. We can't look like that we got everything perfect, but it's damn sure worth it. So just trying to make the necessary adjustments along the way where you can. That'll take you there. Balance is something that tips the scale all the time. You do the best you can. You ain't gonna be perfect all the time, but it's definitely worth it.
That's right.
I would say also as how do you keep yourself after the work-family balance? You also have to have creative time for yourself.
Right.
How do you catch your muse or your creativity and stuff like that, where you're sitting down and you get your downloads for new ideas for fresh content or whatever that you want to create, be it clothing, a website, or graphic work. How do you stay inspired or full of creativity to keep going and creating?
I definitely just try to keep immersing myself into what I like no matter what. I think not necessarily just blocking out time to be immersed, but I think that's what I'm more toward leaning now, is actually scheduling time to just soak in the things that I would normally kind of do. And then if I have a new inkling or a new feeling to go do something or want to explore something, go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Just plan it out, Like, it doesn't have to necessarily be like on a whim or anything. Like, I could still, you still just kind of plan out a day or something. There's nothing wrong with having a little organization. Because that, honestly, that was one of the things that I learned that I was kind of lacking in for a minute. Just organization.
Yeah. And also, I like that you said sometimes going with your gut. Because sometimes it ain't planned out. Your gut just tell you to move on something, and you move on it, and you end up getting inspired. So that's what's up, too.
That's right.
And how do you keep from getting finessed to give stuff away for free? You know what I mean? People like, let me get that for free, my guy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or I'm going to be your billboard.
It is bad, because it's like, man, but you're afraid to,
Yeah, invest, my God, yeah. How do you keep from getting finessed?
Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, it's just knowing what you're worth and what you bring to the table.
Hey, man, it's also reminding them of them invoices.
Right, facts.
Ain't none of this free to create. All of this take money to create.
Money and effort and time.
Energy. Yeah. That's a whole currency in itself.
And it's worth something.
So you might as well, if you're a friend of me, invest in it.
And get what you're worth, but then at the same time, do some research ahead and just figuring out what's like the kind of normal price point ranges that somebody who would work, professionally in the field that you want to go to do. Like, a lot of the time, depending on, I've learned that, like, I've gone to a couple of little meetings that here in Dallas, there's a society, it's like Dallas Visual Society, Dallas Visual Society. It's like DSB, I think that's the acronym for it, but they do a lot, like, they center is arts in a whole, but mostly graphic.
Nice.
Print,
so graphic arts.
Yeah, that type of stuff.
And you got a chance to go and see how much it's worth, how much the pricing is.
Right.
Also, I would, I start with the basics. I tell people, get what you can afford.
Yeah.
You know, if you see something that's a high ticket item and you can't get it right now, that is okay. You can come back for it. Get what you can afford.
That's
you know?
right. I always started where
So you might not have to be able to afford, the $5,000 package or something, but you might want to be able to get a clothing, a t-shirt or something like that. Get what you can afford.
It might look crazy.
Yeah.
You never know.
All right. I was gonna ask you to close this out. What would you love to leave as a legacy that you would want people to know and feel inspired by dealing with Wyld Lfe Studios?
Let's say I want to leave the idea of just not stopping. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to either outweigh adversity, self-doubt, not knowing how to do something, whatever it is that you want to do in this life, your existence, your time here on this planet, being here, is just to go for it. Don't pick any reason to stop trying to go for what you want to go for. Like that's
the legacy, to keep pushing it forward and keep evolving it and keep elevating it. That's what it sounds like you're saying as well.
Exactly. Because why not you? You feel me? Like somebody's gonna do it.
Like you lit the torch, keep the torch going and keep it lit even more futuristically, even better, build on it. Okay.
For sure.
Hey, it's been good having this conversation with you. Like I said, I like being able to sit down and just have regular conversation. And Soul Charge is that it's been a soul charge talking to you. It's been a soul charge you answering these questions.
Likewise.
And just having this moment to say who you are and see the face of Wyld Lfe Studios here in the flesh. Thank you for sharing your currency of time with me, and also being my very first guest, man. This is my first one. Wyld Lfe Studios. Tell them your contact information so people will know how to get into your website if they have, curiosity about maybe, doing business with you on some things you have to offer. How do they get in touch with you?
So it's Wyld Lfe Studios for everything, but let me tell you how to spell it. So WYLDLFE and then Studios. Wyld Lfe Studios. Instagram, Facebook, all of that. We right now, InstrgamStudios.com, all of that good stuff. So WYLDE.
WILDLYFE?
WYLD.
It's all right.
LFE Studios.
That part. wyldlfestudios.com.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hey, before I go, I got some other things that I want to mention. Tonight is V Live's last night, y'all. Glow is gonna be in the building performing her single FNF. Also, Monday, tomorrow they're gonna have an exhibit at Texas Theater for the DJ Screw exhibit. And if you could go through there, I believe it starts at 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. And it's just gonna be awesome. They paying homage to the legendary DJ Screw, and they're gonna have people who was working closely with him at the time and everything. And I just want to let them know that I want to give a shout out to y'all because I think that's an amazing thing y'all did paying homage to that man's life. So that's going to be at Texas Theater tomorrow from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Go in and check it out. It's really something nice to see. It's a traveling show, so it's going to be in Dallas for tomorrow, and then it's going to move to other states and stuff like that. So if you have the blessing and the opportunity to check that out, do that. Before I leave, I want to give a shout out to you, Wyld Lfe Studios. I want to give a shout out to Dallas View Media for putting it all together and making this thought a reality. And my name is Kyra LaShawn, 24K, Solid Gold in these streets. And this is a soul charged moment. Hey man, stay charged up, amplified, and elevated. Peace out. Thanks for tapping in.